What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Zombie Joystick Gaming here, and welcome to Season 2 of the AS Roma Career Mode. As you all know from following along, last year we finished third in the league while winning the Europa League against West Ham. A couple things that are different in Season 2, my game did crash and I was unable to kind of retrieve the save. So I upgraded per se, to the FIFA Realism mod. So we are using that for everything in Season 2 and moving forward and kind of all of our saves. Also, we were able to kind of duplicate most things in terms of winning the Europa League, not winning the league, things like that. This is going to be kind of the roster we have going into Season 2. In this kind of world or reality, whatever, Rui Patricio didn't retire, so that's good for us. So we have a goalkeeper, but I was trying to make some of the signings that we did in the previous save. We have Ruggieri here. Zielinski, as you can see, will be moving on to Leeds. We actually, in the other save, sold him to Benfica, but still we're able to get him out the door. We have Angelino, Chris Smalling, Mancini, and Dika, Kambula, Zima, Shelik, Cristante, Darbo, Shirobini, Paredes, Oar, Bove, D'Alessio, Pellegrini, Baldanzi, Pajano, Karsdorp, Orsolini, Costa, El Shaarawy, Dybala, Shomurodov, Boletti, Tammy Abraham, and Alesso as the last striker. We did not trigger that Lukaku buy clause, so he did go ahead and head back to Chelsea. Don't think I'm going to buy him at all, as Super Sub Tammy did a hell of a job at the end, throughout the whole season last year. And as you can also see, we have some slight tweaks to the uniforms, some of the faces, so it's definitely even more realism per se into what we're going to be doing with the FIFA mod going forward. In terms of the Youth Academy, we have these two folks. With the FIFA mod, you can get youth players that are 14 and up. One thing I have noticed, though, with the mod, it's very, very hard to get youth talent that is actually worth anything, or that has like a high potential moving forward. But that's going to be our Youth Academy going into Season 2. In terms of the scouts and kind of scouting instructions, those are going to be all the same that we had last year, kind of still looking for the same type of players to kind of fit the squad moving forward. What we will do is probably for this episode, we will go ahead and get through the preseason and probably get to the Super Cup and play that in today's episode, while episode 2 of this season is going to start with the league moving forward there. So we'll get at least one gameplay in today's episode for that. We also did go through the free agents, did some scouting, or at least put youth players on our transfer list to see kind of what that's going to shake out to be. These are going to be them. In terms of the free agents, the only one I really probably want to actually sign beforehand is probably Ricci, just because he is Italian. The only thing I don't like is he is 5'10", so maybe hold off there after we get the scouting report to kind of see how much what his overall is. As you can see with the FIFA mod, we are able to see the market value of these folks, and the market values are definitely super different from regular FIFA. Wonder Kids are worth a lot more in terms of their values. So this is going to be what we have on our transfer short list in terms of bringing folks in. Definitely Greenwood is a player that I kind of want to bring in, maybe even Xavi Simmons. We do have the transfer policy on strict, so probably won't be able to bring Musa in, but we have Busio, another American, to move forward with. But this is going to be our transfer hub. Really thinking about bringing in Karnaseki in terms of being my goalkeeper going forward, and maybe till the end of the save. Kind of see how that shakes out there, but these are going to be the folks that we're going to be looking to bring in throughout the transfer window. I want to bring in Destiny Udogi to be my left back. Scalvini, I definitely want him to kind of head up our back line as well. We weren't able to get Keota in, but we can definitely try to do that in the summer window. In terms of budget, we will have 124 mil to splash the cash, per se, to hopefully make us better and finish higher in the league, and hopefully go on to win it. We are in the Champions League again, due to winning the Europa League and a league finish, so definitely going to give it all we have there in terms of seeing what we can do in the Champions League. So sit back, relax, hit that like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and let's move into Season 2. In terms of what we are looking for, just so you all know, at least what I'm personally looking for to kind of strengthen this team is going to be that left back. Mentioned Destiny Udogi. A right back to replace Karsdorp. A central midfielder to kind of strengthen that area, a left winger to kind of come in and play over El Shaarawy, and a striker to either kind of have some rotation with Baladi and Tammy, or maybe even a younger striker to kind of in the future take things over. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this list, and I'll bring some highlights of who we actually choose to go after. I definitely, like Jurgen Klopp in real life, want to get my business done early. In terms of getting players in and getting them up to speed, I know, but just to kind of have some realism there. So once I go through and decide which players I want for those positions I mentioned before, we'll definitely bring those to you. If you guys have suggestions on who else we should go after, definitely leave those comments comments down below, and I will catch you all after we kind of figure out a couple players we're going to buy. Knowing kind of where we are with our team and kind of who we want to maybe bring in, we are definitely going to list Angelino to move on. Going to transfer list Chris Smalling, bring in hopefully Scalvini there. We've got Celik. Again, looking for another right back, but not going to risk him. Going to definitely look for another central defensive midfielder. I'm definitely going to look to move on from Cherubini, as well as Costa. We'll probably re-sign him and send him out on loan. And then move on from Shomurodov as well. In terms of the objectives we have to complete this year by the board, given to us by the board, as you can see, not a very popular manager, even though we did win the Europa League, so kind of wish there was a little bit more realism in that. But within 2 seasons, have a player get called up and play 50% of the games. Probably won't get this done since there's not a youth player good enough to do this. We need to get 12 league wins at home. We need to sign 2 players of a different nationality that are not Italian. So hopefully we'll do that. Like I said, I wanted a strong Italian core. In terms of the continental success, they want me to reach the semifinal of the Champions League, which is definitely a steep goal. I know we did win the Europa League, but the Champions League is definitely a whole nother beast. And then for the domestic success, they want us to win the league as well as reach the final of the domestic cup. And then the financial goals we are looking at just within 2 seasons, increase the club worth by 20%. So our first signing is going to be Karnaseki. We're getting him for 19.3 million, and then I'm going to negotiate that salary, probably bump him up to like 70k a week. to take over for Rui Patricio. That deal is going to be rated an A. Looks like we're roughly 1.5 or so million off from getting him at his lowest price, but doing that negotiations, Atalanta were asking for like 27 mil, so not sure how we were ever going to get down to 17.8, but the deal is still graded an A. So this month's scouting report from Italy. So as you can see, a lot of the potentials and things are definitely a lot lower with the realism mod. But if you open it up, some are worth, like, with only a potential of like 77, worth like 1.5 million. I still, in the weeks of testing the mod, haven't gotten a Youth Academy player in my own personal kind of saves over like 2.3 million. So hopefully maybe in this save we can get a really, really dynamite youth player. But none of these players, I will probably Fiore, put him in the academy, maybe. That'll be it. See, this is one of those players I was telling you about. He's got a potential of 67, and he's worth 1.3 million, but like obviously he's never going to amount to kind of getting any kind of play within the first team. Getting offers for Awar and Indica, definitely going to turn these down. Might actually go for Marko Arnautovic just as a rotation striker, but definitely going to turn these offers down. This month's scouting report from the Ivory Coast, not great, but might continue to scout Sidibe, but everyone else I will reject. See, Cherubini has chosen to go to Bari for 1.8 million. As you can see, we were able to sell Shomurodov as well. Got a B rating, but definitely weren't going to use him going forward, so glad to get him off the books. Also got a bid for Kambula here from AC Milan. Since we are in the Champions League, we, at least for Italy, will only sell to the league winners, which was Inter, based on kind of the rule set we have going on, so definitely going to reject this deal. As you can see, we've loaned out Bor, the third string goalkeeper, just knowing I will probably bring in a third goalie later on in the window. I'm going to simulate the preseason, but we are going to be joining the Audi Cup, playing against Liverpool City, Dortmund, Forest, Girona, Brighton, and Crystal Palace. This is us selling Smalling to Fiorentina for 16 mil. With him getting up there in age and kind of what we want to accomplish this year, I felt it was best for us to move on from Chris Smalling this window. So these are going to be the 5 players that we decide to bring in to our team moving forward, bringing in some youth. We've got Dovbek for 17.1 million, Shalai for 8.8, Splash the Cash for Udogi for 61.2, Zakarian we shelled out 21.9, almost 22 million, and then for Seawald 18.2. So these are going to be the players that we're bringing in for the summer window. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up these contracts, and then I will see you for the start of preseason. So we have reached match day 1 of the preseason. Gonna go through and just simulate these games, but I'll show you the results. Looking at the squad, I showed you who we were buying. They all did accept. So this is what our team looks like right now. Still looking to move on from Angelino after bringing in Udogi, and that's going to help us bring in Dolfbeck. We didn't have enough money to bring him in. We were short a lot on the salary, so once we sell Angelino, I'll go back in for Dolfbeck to be our third striker. But this is going to be our team basically heading into season number 2. So first match day, we will simulate against Liverpool. Smacked around 3-1. That is going to be Alessio going on loan. Match day 2, throwing the second team out there. What can they do against Brighton? And we come away with a 3-1 lead, or win against Brighton in the preseason game number 2. Lastly, against Dortmund, we come away 1-0 losers. That's going to be it for preseason. Definitely didn't win anything. Wanted to win some money there. Needed some extra cash, but team wasn't able to make it happen, and we will see you in the City game. or right before it. So this month's scouting report, no one really to report on. Romeo, he's worth 1.1, so we'll leave him in to scout a couple more months, but everyone else will be rejected. Another month for the Ivory Coast. Not much either. I'll reject everybody as well. Alright guys, here we are for the Super Cup. Us against Man City. So let's see who they're going to be probably throwing out. Very mixed team. You've got Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz, Kanji, Sergio Gomez, as well as Ortega between the sticks. But you have De Bruyne playing with Doyle and Marunchuk. And the front three of Foden, Holland, and Bernardo Silva. Strong mixed team, I'd say, but regardless, it's City. They're going to put us under pressure. Our team, pretty similar to last year's, except we are bringing in three new players on that left-hand side in Udogie, Seawald, and Zakarian, as well as Karnaseki, new being between the posts. Here we go. Can we do anything against City? Hopefully we can try to come away with the win in the preseason, at least in this first European trophy chance that we have this year. Obviously, with us being winners of the Europa League and City winning the Champions League, they're expected to walk away with victory, but we'll see what we can do. Dybala. Crossed in, Tammy, huge save by Ortega, huge save, but taken out of bounds by Bernardo Silva. Our first attack and our first corner of the day. Dybala crossed in, header missed, but Udogie coming onto it. I'm just going to hit it. And Destiny Udogie hits the bar. What a goal that would have been. Tammy, back to Akanji. Sergio Gomez turns it over. Can we slip Tammy through? We can. Take Tammy himself. Tammy scores. What a rocket. 1-0 Roma. Let's go. Doyle back to Akanji. Akanji bursting forward. Still bursting forward. And runs right into Cristante. Out to Udogie. Oh. Udogie able to beat Kyle Walker. Kicked back in. And calmly collected by the keeper. Boots it up to Holland, but he's unable to retain possession. And we build again. Dika over to Karsdorp. Karsdorp able to beat his man. Dybala. Tammy. Oh, what a just broken down pass. But we will build again. Seawald, Udogie almost running into the defender. Udogie clips it in. Doyle turns it right back over, but we dribble right into Erling Haaland. Some chaos in the midfield. Cristante able to win it back. Seawald unable to get it through, but City able to win possession, and they are off. Bernardo back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne out to Kyle Walker. Back to Haaland. Out to Bernardo Silva. Pellegrini able to win it. Zakarian over to Pellegrini. Let's get this to Tammy. Tammy with the goal. 2-0 Roma. And we are taking it to City. And as you can see with these uniforms, there's not a number in the front, so it looks a little bit better with this mod. But, in turn, any of the mods, modders, I thank you for what you do for the FIFA community. It's awesome. It makes FC a totally different game, pretty much, and due to that, it's definitely allowed me to get immersed into what's going on in FC. So after kickoff, we take over 2-0 lead that we have. over City, and Akanji kicks it right into my midfielder. Back to Ruben Diaz, but he turns it over, and with a rash tackle, here comes Tammy. Tammy for the hat trick. Tammy for the hat trick. Goal. 3-0 Roma. Also, thinking of like already being up 3-0, what we're going to do is be moving up to legendary in terms of the settings. Just to make things a little bit more difficult, more realistic. Hopefully I'm able to get some wins out of it, though. If we play like this all year, we might win the league. 3-0 halftime. Let's go. One striker has had a great day, and it's not who you think. It is not Erling Braut Haaland. It is Tammy Abraham with a first half hat trick. Despite playing Manchester... Oh, what the foul there. Playing Manchester City, I can't really feel like there's a lot of highlights here as we kick off the second half that I'm going to be able to edit in for them. It's been a lot of that with Marunchu kicking it right to my defenders. Karsdorp down to Pellegrini. Pellegrini out wide to Dybala. And Dybala able to beat the defender. I'm just going to shoot. Oh, side netting. Looks like Marunchuk has been hurt and substituted. Kicked it right to Phil Foden. As I was about to say, they go long and turn it right over. Phil Foden dribbles into danger and tackled, but City is able to recover. They have great passing moves, but it's hasn't really turned into anything, judging by the scoreline. De Bruyne has the ball in dangerous territory. Back to Kanji, Rodri to Gomez, and we commit a foul there. Back to Gomez, out wide to Foden, and Foden runs right into Karsdorp, and he's able to snuff out that attack. Let's get Tammy in the middle here, just to get some space, and we'll go backwards. Chini back to Carnesecchi. It's been a pretty decent debut for Seaweld, but I mean, Carnesecchi hasn't really been tested today. That's crazy to say, playing against Manchester City. And then Zakarian, ran right into the defense. Zakarian, he's had a decent debut. He hasn't scored. I think he has an assist, though. So all three new boys have been worth the money. And Holland, just does my... And we are Ndika able to step in. What a save by Carnesecchi. Bernardo Silva unable to bring City back into the game. And they bring on João Cancelo for Tommy Doyle. Bringing some subs on here. Taking off Pellegrini for Baldanzi. Bringing Tammy off. And bringing El Shaarawy on as well. City with the corner. Pumped into the middle, and Rodri jumps over, who was that? Udogie, but he's unable to put it on target. Wrong pass. Not the pass. Can City break now? Nope. Dybala gets a tackle in. I mean, for people who are 3-0 down, they're not really attacking with any kind of urgency. Sergio Gomez comes off for Jeremy Doku. This has got to be a change in formation. I feel like I'm going to come under a lot of pressure. Except for Akanji just kicks it right at my team to send us in for a break. Bolatti saved by Ortega. And it's not... it is out for a corner. Just barely. Corner from Dybala in the 90th minute. Kicked in. Not really saved. We have... Can I cross this in? Saved by the goalkeeper. We will have another corner here. I was incorrect. Win the first trophy put in front of us this year in the new season, Season 2. Off to a winning start. Can we keep that going for the rest of the year? Obviously not undefeated, but a good season. Before we end this episode, dove back to see if we can make it happen. We're able to agree a different modified fee of 15.9 million. So hopefully we have enough in the bank to agree to personal terms, and he will be our player. So as you can see, we weren't able to get that to work. He just wanted too much money. We were only able to offer 46K as a salary. So hopefully we can get Angelino out the door before the end of the window. But that's going to be it for us, guys, for episode number 1 of season 2. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, notifications, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel. Definitely in the beginning of making these videos, but they're a lot of fun to make for sure. In the next episode, we are going to be going against Udinese, Napoli, Salernitana, Palermo, and Juventus. I will probably play Juventus, Napoli, and Udinese just being the first game of the season, simming Salernitana and Palermo, even though it's pretty good to see Palermo back in the Serie A. But that's going to be next week's episode. That's it for me, guys. Zombie Joystick Gaming, I'm out. Peace.